Why do geologic rock layers serve as an insightful analogy for consciousness? The process of geologic deposition resembles how frames of consciousness are formed and layered. Frames of consciousness not only unfold in time but also seem to leave imprints, like printed frames, that layer spatially as the brain records from our surroundings in a scanning walk of attention. There are some exceptions. Consciousness repeatedly iterates over the same 3D perceptual space our entire life, and each layer is swiftly deposited in a mere fraction of a second, rather than spanning millions of years. Before we go further, let's get up to speed. The world you perceive is actually a representation created by your brain. So, how does the brain construct this representation? It does so through discrete frames that lag slightly behind reality, frames onto which the more continuous movie of sight and sound is projected. I propose that these frames are subliminal and translucent, carrying the location and shape of your attention. They may even give rise to sensations through frequency modulation patterns. Now that we have a better understanding, let's continue with the video. Below, you'll see 9 ways in which these frames or rings can change from moment to moment. A 0D point traces a 1D ring path, which can morph into 2D surface frames. Ring orientation can exhibit both rapid and gradual transformation. Depicted here are sagittal, coronal, horizontal, and mixed orientation rings. Shape can morph from circular to square, but usually assumes unusual 2D shapes. New rings can emerge either in the same location as the previous ones, akin to a standing wave, or they can shift to different locations, resembling a traveling wave. The frequency of the rings can and does vary, but in a sort of dance-like way, as though changing the frequency has inertial resistance, and the changes need to be the most elegant part of the whole conscious experience. Though rings are often constrained to a geometric plane, they don't have to be. The beginning point for drawing the ring can experience rotation about the normal axis, showing precession or lag, but often experiences no such phase offset rotation. When new rings move to a new location each time, the offset can be along a straight line or curved line. Or, if frames are spherical, the offset can be radial growth or shrinkage. Finally, a stack of rings can be orthogonal or tilted. In review, I've presented frames of consciousness to be multivariable, highly dynamic surfaces or screens that interact with the more real-time pixel content of experience. Consciousness might actually be the memory system, used to keep track of what decisions you made for improving in the future. Frames of consciousness may vary in frequency, shape, and location, and consciousness is incommensurable with the physical world if it is in fact printed by a time code. Each millisecond of actual time is devoted to a specific voxel location within a schema. This time code is coupled with a second voxel mapping system so that the rings can trigger the rest of the voxels by their proximity in perceptual space.